Creating your first YouTube video can be pretty overwhelming if you've never picked up a camera before. So in today's video, I'm going to take you step by step through the entire process of creating your first YouTube video, even if you have zero experience. By the end of this, you'll not only know exactly what to do, but you'll feel confident enough to hit record. Let's dive in. Now, before you do anything else, you need to first choose a video idea. And this can be a little bit intimidating because it's your first video and you want it to be perfect. But the topic that you choose is less important than just getting your very first video out there to begin with. Chances are your first video is not going to go viral. It's not going to be seen by hundreds of thousands of people. So your first few videos are really just going to be more about you honing in your skills and getting comfortable with being on camera and testing things out. Which is a good thing because we need a lot of practice in order to get good at this. So it's comforting, for me at least, to know that hundreds of thousands of people are not going to see your first video. It's just about you getting comfortable on camera. And it's about you getting those reps in and posting those first few videos so that you can get better for people to eventually see your later content. The first option is going to be an introductory video. If you are nervous about posting or you're struggling to figure out the perfect video idea, you might want to just get that first video out of the way by posting an intro video explaining who you are, what your channel is about, what you plan to post on, and anything else that you want to talk about. And this is exactly what I did for my first video. It's really a low pressure way that gets the ball rolling, gets that first video out of the way, the nerves out of the way, and it's super easy and very low effort, which is perfect when you're just trying to get that first video out, which is usually the hardest thing to do. Now, option 2 is going to be audience-focused content. If you are ready to just dive straight in with the regular content and your niche, ask yourself, what is one burning question that my audience might have? There's a lot of different topics that you can choose from, but like I said, it really does not matter as long as you get your first video out there. Now, what I did was I started with the intro video first just to get the first video out of the way, but I knew that really nobody was going to care about the intro video, and that was mostly for me and my comfort. So I had an audience-focused video that I recorded roughly around the same time and got that video out 3 days later, so that's my audience would have something interesting to watch that wasn't mostly for me in the form of an intro video. So whatever you choose, just keep it basic. It's best that you don't overthink it because that is going to procrastinate you starting your channel, which is something that we don't want. Because if you're watching this video, I have a feeling you've been procrastinating for a long time already, and we don't want to do that moving into the new year. Now, once you have your video idea picked out, you might be a little bit nervous about the thought of getting on camera, which is totally normal. But over time, you can overcome your camera nerves. Talking to a lens and knowing that other people are going to be watching can be really nerve-wracking if you're worried about being perceived or judged or anything like that. But unfortunately, the only way that you can get over these nerves is by actually doing the thing that makes you scared and jumping on camera, recording, and posting videos. You have to keep showing up for yourself, your audience, and your channel. You have to keep putting yourself in front of the camera in order to get over your fear. But my best tip for getting over the fear of being on camera is pretty basic. Number 1, by just doing it. Crazy, right? But you can do it in a low pressure way that nobody will ever see. If the thought of jumping on camera for your first ever YouTube video sends you into a spiral, you don't have to record your first video to start. What I did to get over my fear of being on camera was to set up my camera and record myself doing everyday things and just talking to the lens. I would sit in my bedroom every day and just talk. I would do it while I was cooking dinner, while I was eating, cleaning up the house, whatever I was doing, I would just set up the camera and I would start recording. I was almost desensitizing myself to the idea of being recorded and learning how to speak naturally like you're talking to a friend. And the good news is you don't have to watch the footage back just yet if you don't want to. You can just delete it. Then nobody, not even you, will ever see that footage if you think it's embarrassing or weird or cringe or whatever. I recommend if you are super scared to get on camera to do this every single day until you are confident enough to jump in front of the camera and actually record your first YouTube video. But at some point, you really just have to jump off of the deep end and trust yourself to press record and just get it done. Because trust me, the more that you do this, the easier it will get. You can always edit out any mistakes so no one will ever see them, kind of like these. You can always edit out any mistakes, so like that one. Once you're ready to get on camera, you're gonna need to plan out what you're actually going. Once you're ready to get on camera, you'll need to plan out Everyone starts somewhere and your first video is just the beginning of your journey, so don't sweat it and it doesn't need to be perfect. Once you're ready to get on camera, you're gonna need to plan out what you actually want to do in the video. Flying by the seat of your pants might sound fun, but planning ensures that you stay on track during the video, you're going to feel less overwhelmed, and you're going to produce a better quality video because of it. Now, the planning that you do is going to vary based on what type of video you want to create. If you're doing a talking head video, which is what this one is, you're going to want to have some sort of outline or script to follow. Maybe you're going to write word for word what you want to say. That's personally what I do, and then I have my laptop right in front of me so that I can look down at the script and see what I plan to say. Or you can just write down some bullet points to include what you want to talk about. If you're doing vlog style content and you're recording your day, you don't just want to pick up the camera and record whatever happens during that day. If you watch vloggers, vlogging might seem effortless, but that's because they make it that way, not because it actually is. So when you're planning a vlog, you want to think through your week and pick a day when you're actually going to be doing something interesting, and then write down a rough outline on the shots that you want to get. I could do a whole video on vlogging and video planning all on its own, but the main thing you need to know right now is just make sure that you have some sort of plan for where your video is going to go. And just so we're clear, I came out here because I wanted a sugar cookie. I didn't need to walk out of my office to do this, but it does fit with the video, and at the end of the day, I get a sugar cookie. Now let's talk equipment next and setting up your recording space. Now I've mentioned this before, but you don't need anything big or fancy for your recording setup space. Mine, if you've been watching my videos for a while, has changed for the last couple of videos because my Christmas tree is currently in my office and I don't have enough space. So you get to see my closet instead of the pretty backdrop wall that you normally see in my videos. And this was super simple to create. This is literally just shiny tape that I put on the wall in a fancy design, and that is it. And you don't even need anything as fancy as that. You can just use a blank wall. All you need to worry about is that your background is nice and clean. You also want to make sure that the video is clear and your audio sounds good and your lighting is bright. Those are the three most important things for producing a good quality video: a good visual, a good background, and good lighting. You don't even need to use the best equipment to start. If you just want to record off of your phone, most phones now have a good enough quality camera that you don't need a big fancy camera if you don't want one. And this is exactly how I started recording my very first YouTube videos, is just with my phone. Also, pro tip for you, if you do want to start recording on your phone, you want to use the back camera when you are recording. But as you saw me just doing, I obviously can't see myself when I'm recording using the back camera, which is why a lot of people would prefer to use the front camera so that they can see themselves. You should get this little device right here that shows what's going on the screen. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that very well, but this is a phone mirroring device. So whatever's happening on my phone screen, I can see. So it makes it so much easier to see when I have this. I got this one off of the TikTok shop. I'll link a similar one down below from Amazon, because this is an absolute lifesaver if you're recording off of your phone. That way you can use your back camera and still see what's going on. But if you do want a budget-friendly camera, this is the setup that I'm currently using. I have a Canon EOS M50 with a detachable mic, and then I also have a little handheld tripod as well. It's the perfect little setup if you're getting started with content creation. I will be linking all of my gear down below. If you want to get a camera though, I highly recommend getting one with a flip out screen so that you can see what is happening. So normally I'm recording like this so I can see what's going on, and the flip out screen shows me that I'm actually in the shot. And then for lighting, you don't really need anything fancy. You can either just get a ring light, or you can just use a window light and just stand right in front of the window and use the natural sunlight. But if you're like me and you record when it's pitch black outside, these are the lights that I have. I've got two of them. They're studio lights that, again, I will link down below in the description, but you don't necessarily need all of this stuff. These lights I got as a present much later into my YouTube channel, and I just used a window light. But I do recommend that you get a nice camera if you have the funds for it. So everything will be linked down below if you want to check out what I have. The next step is going to be actually recording your video. And the best advice that I can give here is to start out really, really simple. I add a lot of stuff into my videos, but I've also been doing this for a decent amount of time, and I have the ability and the time to add all of these different shots and cool edits and all of that. So you won't have that experience and editing knowledge and all of that that I currently have right now. So for your videos, I need you to make them as simple as you possibly can so that you can start getting these videos out and not overwhelming yourself with doing too many crazy edits and recordings to begin with. I add a lot of B-roll and different angles and different shots into my videos, which is something that you do not need to have for your first videos. Just set up the camera and start talking, one angle, maybe two if you want, if you're doing a sit-down video like this. And then if you're doing a vlog, just take the simple shots that you want to take, and then you can improve on everything else later. And if you are doing a vlog, I recommend that you do your best to tell a story. Show, don't tell. If you say, I am going to get ready to run errands, I'm going to go to the store, then I'm going to head to my workout class, make sure you show those things. Set up your camera and put on some makeup. Tie your shoes. Jump in your car. Show what store you're going to. And then maybe before you get to your Pilates class, you sit in the car for a little bit and you talk to the camera saying like, okay, got my errands done. Now I'm going to my Pilates class. And none of this that you do, all these clips that I just got, don't have to have any talking over them. You can mute the sound and just put some music over it. And that's what we call B-roll. And you are showing, you are not telling exactly what you're going to be doing. And if you ask yourself, did she go out in the snow and the cold in order to get these clips just to show you what I'm talking about? Yes, I absolutely did. I drove all the way to Target for this. Vlogging can be really awkward and it takes a lot longer to do things because you have to set up a perfect shot. But once you are done, this is what it's going to look like. Was this absolutely cold and absolutely unnecessary? Yes, they were playing Taylor Swift when I got here, so worth it. Okay, now that we are back in my office and your video is done, let's talk about editing. Editing can feel a bit intimidating because you're probably looking at all the fancy edits that all of your favorite creators are doing and thinking that you will never be able to do all of that. But again, you don't have to. When you are editing your very first video, keep it simple. All you need to focus on is editing out any parts that you messed up on or any long pauses that you took. This is what we call jump cuts. So if you messed up on a sentence, just re-say whatever it was and then cut out that one line that you messed up on. And maybe if you want to, you can try to add some text on top of your videos. I use Canva for all of the edits that go over my videos. So maybe you could test out some text that pops up on screen. It's pretty simple to do if you are just doing a basic edit. So this is the Canva doc that I have for all of the overlays on my videos. It's set up nice and neat so I can just go in and replicate any of the edits that I normally do in order to save time. But let's go stick with the simplest one and just do text. So there are two different ones that you can do. This is an overlay that goes over the entire screen and I use this for my main points. So all I did to get this was I just picked a random background. You can keep it white, you can do gray, you can do colors, you can do whatever you want. I just went over here to elements and I picked out, I think I just typed in background and then picked a random photo that I wanted from there. And that was my background. And then adding in text. So you can go over here to text, add a text box, and then up here, add whatever text box you want. And then I added a second one. Very, very simple. Mine also has an animation on it. So when you click on your text, it will say animate, but this one's already animated, so it tells you the animation. And I just clicked on an animation, upped the speed because I pay for Canva, so I'm able to up the speed and change the writing style and all of that. And that's it. This one's Rise. This one is typewriter. This is for the main points of my video. And then the little text that pops up at the bottom of the screen is literally just looking like this. And there are two ways to do this. So this one is an animation, or you can do a not animated version of it. So let's say you just wanted a text like this. You would go up to share, download a PNG, and saving it as a transparent background so that when you put it into your video, it's going to look like this. However, you have to have the paid version of Canva in order to have the transparent background. You can't do that otherwise. Now, of course, I showed you a couple different things, and in case you got overwhelmed, I need you to remember that you need to do the most basic edits for your video, and all you need to focus on is getting your video out, and that is it. So either put text on there or don't worry about putting text on there. Don't worry about all the fancy different edits and stuff. Just get your video out. Do not let the editing part be the reason that your video does not get posted, because you are so close to the finish line once your video is written, recorded, and in the editing process. Speaking of posting, that is where we are headed next. Once your video is edited, it is time to post your video. Now, the actual uploading part is easy. All you need to do is export it from your editing software and import it into YouTube and get it uploaded. So all you have to do is, once you have your video exported from your editing software and you are on YouTube, go up here to create and upload video. And then just find your video on the computer and drag and drop it over there to start the upload process. Now, you can accidentally overcomplicate the uploading part of your video a lot, so we're gonna make it as simple as possible for you. The first thing you need to worry about is adding a title. I have vidIQ, which is a keyword research tool that I highly recommend if you're getting started on YouTube. So it's going to analyze my video and recommend a keyword for me. I don't know if it does this on the free version. I have the paid version, which is what I recommend because you get a lot more with the paid version, but I'm just going to pick whatever video title it has for me and go from there. You can, of course, put your own in. It'll give you a title score based on how good it thinks that title is. And then this is my description. Again, you can overcomplicate this a lot. I have had time to perfectly craft my description to be what I want it to be. Yours is probably not going to be this long, but let's break down the parts that I do have in case you want to add some things to your description. My description auto-populates every single time I upload a video, so that way I can have that same theme and I don't have to remember or copy and paste it from a different format. It just auto-populates every time I upload a video, and I'll show you how to do that just to make your life easier, but this is what mine is. I have a reminder to put a short sentence with keywords that I want to rank for, and then a call to action that I want viewers to see before the fold. And that basically just means before they have to click see more, you want to put a call to action at the top so that they do that call to action, as opposed to having to click see more and then it might get lost in the shuffle. If you have something important that you want your viewers to do, put it before the fold, basically before they have to click see more. And then I have any links mentioned in this video. You're going to see all the links that I mentioned down below in this video. I also have any equipment that I use linked here. These are all affiliate links. So everything that I linked down below is an affiliate link. I also have a affiliate disclaimer that lets people know links in the description might be affiliate links and they don't cost you any extra. All they do is support me and give me a little portion of the sale. Just a nice little thank you for supporting the channel, because the sales that I make from this is the reason that I can keep putting out free videos every week. I have a little bit about the channel. I have the video stamps. Basically, all you have to do is put in intro and then any other chapters that you want to put in your video so that people can click around. There are some on this video, so you can see what they look like down here. I have a few other affiliate links in here, must-have resources, my shop my products. Now, as I said, this can be overcomplicated. You do not need to have all of this. In fact, I don't think you should have any of this. Maybe you can put an about on your channel and then put what the video is about, and that is it. The only other thing that maybe I would suggest putting for your first video is any socials that you want to promote. Other than that, all of this is completely unnecessary to start. You probably won't have many links or affiliate opportunities or anything, so don't worry about any of that. But I do want to show you how you can auto-populate your description every time in case you want to have something set up like mine. So you want to go down here to your settings, upload defaults. So every time you put a video, this is what it's going to have. So you can put a default title if you want. I don't know why you would, but you can put a default title, and then anything you type in here is going to go defaulted to your description, which is why I have these little notes to remind myself how I want every video to go. And it's helpful because I don't have to put in my affiliate links every time. They are already in there. But let's go back to the uploading of the video and show you the rest of the stuff. So you can add your videos to a playlist. I recommend that you do have playlists. Since this is going to be your first video, if you don't have any playlists, don't worry about it. You don't really need them. You can build them as you go. I always set not made for kids. This is another one of those channel defaults that you can find in the settings tab. If you are doing stuff made for kids, you of course want to click that. If you have any age restrictions, You can restrict your videos. If it is a paid promotion, you can say that. You also have to check, is your video done by AI or not? If you want to allow them to have automatic chapters in your video so that you don't have to do the chapters, you can have them do that. I click it even though I do my own chapters as well. Automatic places, I don't care. I just leave that on. It's not useful. I'm not really sure what the automatic concepts is. It isn't an experiment, so I just leave that checked. It doesn't matter. And then these are your tags. You can see that the two that I put in there were auto-populated. And this little section down here is vidIQ. So vidIQ will be analyzing your video and it will pick different tags for you. A lot of times they're not relevant right off the start. So once you start typing in tags, it might give you some better ones. I wouldn't really worry about tags too much for your first couple of videos. Put in some things that you want to rank for. Doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal. I don't mess with any of this stuff. All of this was part of the settings thing that I showed you. I set all of that up. All of this stuff I leave alone, except for this. I usually don't allow shorts remixing on my videos. My category is people and blogs. Category doesn't really matter that much, but mine is people and blogs. And then of course we have to talk about adding a thumbnail. A thumbnail is going to be one of the most important parts of your video because it is going to be a snapshot for what your video is about and seeing if people actually want to click on that video. So you want to make sure that your thumbnail is very clickable. And if you want a ton of advice on how to create a thumbnail, make sure to check out this video right here. Make sure to like this video if you like and subscribe to my channel down below for more videos just like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.